Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Just gonna make sure my mic is working all right. Yep, we're good to go. Um, so yeah, I'm Mike. If you haven't been to my channel before, welcome. I like to do gesture drawing and I like to talk about, the fundamentals of art, stuff like that on my live streams. Um, and yeah, if you have any questions along the way, please just ask them. I love answering questions about art. That's why I do the live streams. That's why I prefer to do live streams. I like to be able to engage with all of you. And if you like it, if you like the video, you like the live stream, think about subscribing, liking the stream, so that you can hang out in the future ones. I appreciate all of you for even tuning in at all. Let's get started. All right. So I typically will go through about 10 gestures, um, and then I'll also go through 10 hands, hand poses. I do use reference when I do these streams. Just for now, I think maybe next week I'll start to move away from the references. I'll do reference work before I stream, and then while I'm streaming, I'll start to move towards doing imaginative work. I think that would be really helpful for me moving forward. And I can talk about the process of making a drawing without any kind of reference or anything of that nature. Some of the things that are really important to think about as you are doing gestures, and it's just going to vary depending on your experience level, and what you are comfortable with. But the big thing is just making sure you're getting the general flow of the sorry, this is my first one, so I'm like trying to get my brain accustomed to doing gestures and talking again. But you want to make sure you're getting the general flow and movement of the pose. That's one of the biggest things. If you're not doing volumetric work like I am, then you'll want to do that with just a few lines. But yeah, and if you are able to start doing volumetric drawings, the thing that I would say is most important is just making sure you are drawing these like poses and the volumes of each like segment of the legs and things of that nature in the correct perspective. That's something that I myself, even with my own pieces, I've noticed that I can kind of go astray sometimes. And it's really easy to do that. It's really easy to like draw what you think you're seeing instead of what you are actually seeing, because our brains all have, we all have ideas of what things are supposed to look like. And until you start really drawing it and observing and trying to draw what you observe, you don't understand that you have those preconceived notions of like what specific body parts are doing in space. So it's just really important to make sure you're really focusing on that aspect of your drawings. All right, this one's about done. Gonna wrap that up. So what I would really recommend you do is when you're first starting, Hi, how are you doing today? Also, sorry for interrupting. You don't have to apologize. I like when people leave comments and stuff. I like engaging. That's why I do live streams. I'm doing well. Hope that you're doing well too. I don't really know what's going on with this part of the arm. Let's erase this and try again. Yeah, so what I was saying was, if you have time at the end, like right now I do, something that's really helpful to do is actually go through and draw your contour lines. That way it's really, really clear where each limb is actually going in space. Alright. You only need a few, and those lines are really important for a lot of different reasons too. One of the biggest ones is later on down the road when you go to draw clothing, it'll be really, really, really important. The other thing that's important when you're doing gesture drawing from reference is just making sure the quality of your references is good. Meaning you don't want to try to find a reference and that has like things that are really super duper stylized, right? You want to make sure that it makes sense, right? The anatomy is correct, the proportions are relatively correct, and things like that. Or at the very least, you want to make sure. I think so right now. I think you are the only one right now. I know a few of the people from my Discord are gonna hop on soon, I believe. But yeah, at the very least, you want to make sure that you are well aware of what mistakes or what stylized choices people are making in their work. This is just a very slight contour towards us, very slight. This one's pretty massive. So is this one. Alright. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? I'm doing well. How are you? Appreciate you hopping on. And then if you also what you want to be doing as well with your gestures is making sure if you have volumized ones like this and you're using like a mannequin like I am, you want to make sure that your mannequin is staying consistent regardless of the stylized proportions of the works that you're looking at, right? Uh, so this is coming towards that's coming towards us. So is this. This is going away. This is coming towards. This is coming towards. That would be going away. This would have lines like that. Perfect. I'm pretty happy with this one. Next, let's get my chair up. Sometimes you need weekends like that. All right. Let's get some of these lines in. This one's coming towards us just ever so slightly. Then that's taking a huge trip backwards. Light towards, you can't really see the upper arm there, or the lower arm, I mean. Alright. I have, when I'm, I mean, it happens. Sometimes it's hard to like get a schedule going for yourself. Like that's the thing I struggle with the most, actually, is just like having a schedule. That's why it's like, it's really important for me to try to do the live streams once or twice a week, just because it gets me back into like the habit of making sure I'm going to my computer to draw. It's like a really important part of my routine. Getting a little crispy in here. Hope that y'all have been doing well and taking care of yourselves. All right, back to it. The other thing that's really important with gesture drawing as well is making sure you're not doing like scratchy lines, like like that. You want to do pretty fluid lines. You can draw over like a couple of times if that makes you feel better. Um, but yeah, you wanna make your lines as fluid as you possibly can and as like solid as you possibly can. Um, for a couple of reasons. The first one is it'll help with your line work later down the road. Um, People ask the question every once in a while of how do I have like good line quality, and a piece of that is just having more confidence in the lines that you're making. Um, then the other thing too, especially with gesture, is um, the less amount of lines or the lesser amount of lines that you do, the more likely you will be to memorize the pose that you are drawing. Because if something's only 5 lines, right, and something else is 25, you're going to memorize how to do the 5 much quicker than, if I can talk, quicker than you would do the 25 lines, right? I think most people would agree with that. All right. The other thing is practice gestures of poses that are going to be useful for you. That actually would come after, though, you get the fundamentals of gesture drawing down just in general. Um, and the reason for that is because it doesn't really make sense to draw poses over and over and over again that you're just never going to actually make use out of later on down the road. Um, Sometimes there is value though. Like I'm not gonna say it's never okay to practice poses that you just might not consistently draw. That's not what I'm saying, but um, because there is value sometimes in switching up what you do, and learn, like, for instance, the human body in a more contorted way. Um, but if you're not going to be consistently drawing that thing, then there's not really a point in, like, in your actual artwork that you're trying to show people or publish or what have you. Um, then you're kind of just wasting your time drawing it, right? You could have spent probably half the time drawing something that's actually going to be a little bit more useful for you. And that way, when the time comes for you to draw it in your manga or your published work or something you're posting on Instagram, then you know it's it's something. It's not the first time you've drawn something that's similar, right? All right, that one is pretty much done. I don't think there's anything else for me to really draw here. Could probably fix the head a bit. Add some ears. Perfect. Next. And as always, if y'all have any questions about any of this stuff, please feel free to ask. Alrighty. I have not read that. If you could put like I don't Hollywood Poe, if you can put like a link or something, that would be awesome. What I have read is Araki's book on like the I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Like the Golden Road to manga or something like that. That was very good. I highly recommend that. Yeah, when it really is. He did a phenomenal job with that book. All right. All right. So this is one of the ones that like I can say is super stylized, like the actual reference. And the reason for that is because this leg here is out of proportion with the rest of his body in the reference image. It comes out to about here. So this is a mistake. I think it's a mistake. Like I don't think that was done on purpose, because of how short the other leg is. Not just how short it appears, but how short it actually is. Legs are very rarely much different to like one another, right? Unless that's like, for instance, you can have like Luffy or like, you know, or Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. Like, yeah, those characters are gonna have like circumstances in which their limbs are like one limb is longer than another or something like that. But that was obviously not the point that the artist was trying to make in that image, to my knowledge. So you have to be wary of that kind of stuff when you're finding reference images. I'm not the kind of person that particularly enjoys doing like finding references that aren't other people's drawings. I just think there's so much to learn from other people's drawings. Um, but with that being said, like it can be very dangerous as far as like learning really bad habits if you're not careful. Find people that are professionals in the field that you want to go into. Typically, their work is being highly scrutinized by others as well. It's going through multiple checks. That being said, no art is perfect, right? So everybody has something wrong in their work. Um, so just be aware of that and think about the mistakes that other people might be making as well. Alright, this one is pretty much done. I think I need to change this a bit. Alright. I think this should be the last body. So we'll move on to doing hands. Yep. Just 1 second. Stream hands, frequent, select folder. Alright. So we're going to do the same thing with hands, and then we'll wrap up. That'll be pretty much it for the day. So about 31 minutes of drawing. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Alright, let's go. Alright, so the first one is just a pretty normal fist drawing. I find it like when the hand is in a fist, I find it pretty easy to just use the like a cube as like your foundation and then add like the thumb to it. That's the at least the best way I have found to draw a fist. And I will say that I do struggle a little bit with fists, which is kind of sad since it's gonna be something I have to draw pretty frequently. But that is how I go about breaking it down. Right, so this curves up like that, and we're gonna get that, that, and that. That's a. I'm pretty happy with this start, to be honest with you. Typically, my first hand that I draw is really atrocious. um, All right. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with this. All right, ready for the next one. Camera's all crooked. All right, just a simple open hand here. All right, so we'll round that off. So a little triangle right in here. Then here, go up just a bit. This can come down just a bit. We get that. So this is I know that this doesn't look like much here right now. But this is a really solid foundation, I think. Typically I struggle with, for whatever reason, I struggle with my open hands. But I'm pretty happy with this, even though I don't have any of the fingers in. I might not get to all of them. And the reason for that is because I like the construction of this one. So we got a finger here, finger here, finger here, finger here. All right. All right. Next. Pinky's a little too long. Probably do this. All right. All right. So again, I got a fist, so I'm gonna start off with like a blocky shape. It's interesting. It doesn't really have, this hand doesn't really have too much what I would call like perspective. So it's kind of like this, which would mean that it's just gonna appear in the front as a tapered square. So let's go ahead and add the different pieces here. Right. Getting there, getting there. So this knuckle. It's coming towards us a bit. That's coming towards us a bit. So it's that. All right. And then it has this in it. I'm gonna go in here and clean up these lines just a bit. I can even erase away some of this stuff in here. All right, another fist. All right. So the good part about hands is like, or a good thing to know about hands is when you spread your hand out, your fingers go outwards, and when you bring it back in, your fingers go inwards. So that's something just to help you have like hands that look more correct and lively. All right, and here we go. hands has this been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this the 6th hand? Weird. Thought for sure I only had it set up for 10 total, but maybe it's accidentally 11. All right. All right. I appreciate you hanging out, Peter. I hope you stay well too. Oops. Maybe I accidentally deleted the break. That's what happened. Because this is weird. Alrighty, so we get the thumb off over there. Let's start with the pinky first, since that's the closest finger to us. Here. 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 Then we get here, here, and here. All right. Cool. Got that. And got that in there. another, for whatever reason, the open hands, which should be the easiest to draw, I've not been doing a good job of. So I'm gonna try to concentrate on this one, and get it done fairly well. Alright, so we'll get 3 fingers are off in this direction, and 1 is over here. So there, here, here, and here. There, and there. Alright, so we'll erase away some of this stuff. Actually, this can stay. Hey, Locke, how's it going, man? Hope that you're doing well. New job's been good, man. Yeah, new job has been good. I have much more time for drawing, which has been really nice for me, and my like mental well-being, and much less stressful. So it's been really nice. Appreciate you asking. Man, some of the your art every time, it's crazy. Every time you post something, it just like feels like it's substantially better than the last thing you did. You've been really making a lot of good progress on your art. I'm looking to take a big jump here soon, hopefully. I mean, you don't have to wish, like it really has. Like I can tell the difference each piece that you do. I can really tell the difference in basically each one. Um, I hope that whatever you're looking to do with art, hopefully that it comes through for you. You've obviously been working hard, and hopefully people are seeing the amount of work that you're putting into it and take that into account if you are looking for like a job or something of that nature. Oh yeah, definitely will. really sure how many hands I've drawn at this point, but we're going to keep going until the thing stops. The thing that I don't understand about this particular fist is it looks like the fingers are like, yeah, there's like a finger that feels like it's missing in this particular reference. So I'm going to draw that. Um, um, the angle is off a bit from what I'm seeing, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta go off script a little. Alright, well that is the last one. 10 straight. Interesting. Was that 10? This doesn't look like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 7, 8, 9, 10. As always, like, it always feels bad as I'm drawing it, but you zoom out just a bit, they're pretty good hands. I would say the last 5, maybe not this one, but the last 4 to 5 came out pretty decent, so I was pretty happy with that. And this is an hour's worth of work, and you know, that's a really good amount of practice for me. So I suggest, like, you know, when I do these streams, just do it along with me. It might be difficult to draw hands while I'm drawing hands just because I'm not 100% there yet, with being able to consistently draw them with like the same recipe and everything like that. But my bodies, you should be able to get a lot from even just copying the bodies that I'm doing. So I would recommend that you do this just because it's an hour's worth of work that you can do alongside me and improve quite a bit. But yeah, I'm probably going to wrap it up there. I appreciate all of y'all for hanging out with me and commenting and everything like that. Oh, thanks, Locke. I appreciate it. I'm going to be shaving it here pretty soon. I don't like my facial hair. It's all scratchy. Makes me itchy. I just can't shave too frequently and make me break out real bad. But yeah, again, really appreciate all of you. I'll keep updating you. I don't want to say too much about the manga I'm creating until it's actually ready. But I'll keep you updated. I am working on it. It's going well. So yeah. It is coming. You are correct, and it will keep my face a little warmer. I will agree with you on that. But yeah, I love all of y'all. Really do appreciate the support you've been giving me the past, few years that I've been doing these. And I will try to do one this week, maybe on Wednesday. That seems like the day that I'm the least busy. And I'll catch you in the next one. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend and have a great start to your week. See you a lot. Appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. I hope that your art stuff continues to go well. Keep making those gains. If you ever need feedback or would like feedback from somebody, you know, as always, you can just hit me up in the Discord. I will gladly give you feedback where I feel like I could be helpful. Peace out, everybody.